Nate Sudfeld is trash.
We're going to start off the video and the stream like that. Welcome to the Detroit Lions post-game show, week 2 for preseason. It was a lot of stuff that I saw that I liked, a lot of stuff that I saw that I didn't. The first thing that I'll say, as always, is that Nate Sudfeld is trash. Fourth throw of the game is an interception. Now, you can make the argument that our offensive line is absolutely horrific. The backup offensive line. I'm very concerned about offensive line depth, right? Super concerned. Standout of the day, defense, John Kaminsky. Standout of the day on offense, Chase Cota, who, by the way, I feel is the new version of Tom Kennedy. He will make this team. People who went to the background today, Dylan Drummond had several drops. He had 2, as a matter of fact. And Antoine Green, pretty much nowhere to be found. 7th round pick. How I predict this is going to go, Chase Cota gets, he could get number 5. He could get number 5. We're there, right? And number 6 is going to come down between maybe Drummond and Green. Or it could be somebody on a second, a team now that will be on our team later, a receiver. As far as Dan Campbell, people in the comment section telling me that we're okay at wide receiver. Dan Campbell literally said in his press conference that they were actively looking for a receiver. Now, is that guy we did not see? I don't think we saw the guy we just picked up from the practice squad of the Chargers. Trinity Benson needs to go. We did not get to see Adrian Martinez, but let's focus. We're going to focus on the good and the bad. John Kaminsky, good. Chase Cota, good. Backup offensive line, absolutely horrible. Run game, nowhere to be found. A lot of questions going into preseason game number 3. After this game is played on Friday, that Tuesday, on the 29th, the day my son starts school, by 4 o'clock, his first day back, we are going to be losing 37 people. Will Craig Reynolds be part of that? It's hard to judge this game and our depth because A, if you're a receiver, you got Nate Sudfeld throwing the ball, and B, I'll cut Nate some slack. If you're Nate Sudfeld, nobody is blocking for you. Am I mad we lost this game? No, I don't. The preseason only exists for depth. That's it. So you can see who you have outside of your starters. I made a video about James Houston. Saw a lot of stuff from James Houston. What I know about James Houston, he can't push no 300-pound lineman. He really can't. He can get around him, but he can't push him. A lot of missed tackles by James Houston. When I made my video, I said it was going to be hard for him to make the roster, meaning it wasn't guaranteed for James Houston to make the roster. Do I think he make it? Yeah, I do. But he just not automatically. And what I saw from him today, but he does have effort. He never quits. And that's something. And he's also a special teamer. Chase Cota, big return, big catch. Only touchdown for the Detroit Lions came on the hands of Chase Cota. Nate Sudfeld, for everything he is, threw some pretty nice balls. But it takes 2 interceptions. Shout out to the comment section. It takes 2 interceptions for Nate Sudfeld to warm up. Going into game 3, will we see our starters? I would like to see both the defensive starters, at least one series. There's no joint practice this week, so we might see that. Going into the offense, I want to see, please, put them out there. Let us see our just one series of Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. This offensive line is miserable. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the USFL. Everybody on the team today probably belongs on the USFL, XFL, right? The preseason is basically a developmental league. That's what it is. To see what you got with the guys that you have outside of your starting 22. Who are the other 22 people, right? 22 plus. Jason Kabinda, drop. Do we need a fullback on this team? Am I upset about the loss? No. Dan Campbell mad. He's mad. I'm not mad. But it was a lot of good. But the worst thing about this whole game is not even Nate Sudfeld. It was the people blocking for him. Craig Reynolds couldn't get anything. The best running back of the day was Benny Snell. Jamar Jefferson, it's hard to gauge. And somebody said it in last week's video. We feel bad for these receivers trying to make the team when our offensive line is not giving Nate Sudfeld any time to throw the ball. And when they do, he throws a pick. It's hard to judge when you don't, in game reps, when you don't have quality out there. Our offensive line, we better pray that they don't get hurt, that Big V can finish. That, because Matt Nelson, terrible. Effetti, not that. We see why he is not he's a former first-round pick, and he's kind of a journeyman now. Today was more mistakes. It was more bad than good. But again, John Kaminsky, we cannot jump off the deep end. This is preseason. We cannot jump off the deep end. Okay, preseason. It's like Allen Iverson in the practice rant. Not a game. It's preseason. You know, I had to bring that up. So overall, I see some things that we need to clean up. I'm not as worried as I used to be about the interior. Broderick Martin played well. I'm not the interior, us getting gashed up the middle. I'm not as concerned as I was last week. But I still, people who showed up last week disappeared this week. No Julian, no Romeo. Like Malcolm Rodriguez, he shined. Jack Campbell, he played very well. So we have some pieces. We got some good on this team. And it's going to be hard. But what I'll say to you is this, is do not get on the SOL train. There's no reason for you to be on it. It's a preseason game with a lot of people who's not even going to be on this team. Do you understand we have 90 men on our team and only 53 will be active on game day? Or will be 53 on the roster, 48 active on game day. Like half of these guys won't even be on the team. My concern is the run game. I want to see it. I want to see the run game. I want to see it happen and the backup offensive line. But one thing I do know is that, again, say it with me.
Nate Sudfeld is trash.
And when I wake up tomorrow morning, he needs to be cut. There's no more debate. There's no debate. If there was a debate on who would be backup number 2, it is no debate. And listen, don't be gullible. Y'all like to correct me in the comment section. Don't have anyone tell you that Nate Sudfeld is battling for number 2. Okay? This guy, Teddy Bridgewater, was offered a contract immediately upon free agency starting. They waited for this guy to get ready. Nate Sudfeld is not battling for number 2. He's battling not to go to the USFL. All right? Take care of yourself and each other. Relax. It's only the preseason. And as always, go Lions. Except Nate Sudfeld. All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for tuning in to the post-game show. I can now get to the comment section. You know, I got to get my video out there. Got to record that. But how y'all doing, man? How we feeling today? You just heard how I felt. I feel pretty good. Rainbow Girl, Mr. Poole in the building. So I'm not upset at the loss. It's preseason. These records don't matter. They have no bearing. If this was a regular season game, then yeah, I would be pitching a fit, but it's not a regular season game. Derek, we surely are missing Evan Brown and even Skipper. Yes, you are correct, Rainbow Girl, and thank you for spelling my name right. I appreciate it. I hate when people spell my name wrong, but you know, it's just a little pet peeve of mine. Yes, we are. And that's why Evan Brown got a big payday, I think, to play for Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. And even Dan Skipper is on a new team. We would love to have Dan Skipper back right now. So one thing about the 53-man roster, the cut down being one day, is the Detroit Lions will have, every team will have, basically, we will have 10 days to find a person, bring them in, and put them on the roster before Kansas City. That's the one negative that I can see about this. It does create an opportunity for us to have depth, because you got to remember there will be a cut coming Tuesday. I can't remember how many people would be cut on Tuesday, if this was the bigger cut or the smaller cut. But then the huge cut, of 28 or whatever would come after next preseason game. Now, this preseason game will be on Friday, and then you won't see the Lions for 13 days until we play the Kansas City Chiefs. Ryan says, feel good, not upset or worried. Hey, Rainbow, I'm messing with you. How did Sorsdale play? I guess pretty good. I know he was out there. O-line didn't give time to move. They didn't look halfway decent until Jags had nobody playing on defense. We have no decent QB2, O-line, depth, or wide receiver. Let me ask y'all this. Okay, Bill says we ain't the same old Lions, and being real is part of the new mentality. I agree. How do we not sign Skipper? Skipper was a decent depth piece. He really was. He made some mistakes, but he was decent. Being real about third string players, let's be real, then we will have, wait, what? Let's be real, then they will be out of the league. Honestly, it seems like the Lions didn't play with much of an edge. Only cut down day is August 29th. Yep. Hard to elevate any one person on the O-line when the other four are giving up pressures. That's facts. That's, you know what? You get the air horn. Let me find it. That's facts. The offensive line depth is absolutely miserable. It's miserable. It is miserable. And I know that Dan Campbell, and we know that they see that. We really do. I don't know, man. It's nothing really is concerning because you got to take all 5 of the offensive linemen, all of them guys. It was good to see them in street clothes because it made you really value what we have as an offensive line. You know, we talked about how the Detroit Lions have a top 5 line. We do. We do, because Jared Goff was one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL in 2022. And this right here, oh my God, these guys need to be playing somewhere else. It's like, how are you even in the NFL? Hard to elevate. Okay, I read that one. Trade D-line for O-line. 3/5 of the guys out there today look like camp bodies at least. Okay, I forgot to mention this in my video. It was hard to remember. Another guy who stood out, Gilmore. He stood out today. Anybody notice that Tracy Walker is playing? Tracy Walker played today. I should have brought that up in my video. Tracy Walker might be a backup. Brian Branch was dressed but on the sideline. Brian Branch probably will start. If he's out there next week with the starters, then Tracy Walker is a backup. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Trinity needs to follow Suffolk out the door. That's facts. Flying says backups at guard center are solid. It's the T's that are horrible. If Goff goes down, we have to rely on Bridgewater. Are we in trouble? He's crap. We are in trouble. See, I disagree. I think Bridgewater is a quality number 2. Probably the best number 2 we've had in years since Sean Hill, which was 10 years ago. I disagree with that totally. He won 5 games in a row when Drew Brees was out when he was with the Saints 2 years ago. So I disagree with that. Teddy Bridgewater will be just fine. Our offensive line was terrible. No run, no holes to run, they didn't stop any pressures. Like, it was terrible. They should all be cut today. Trinity is a dude I would make a move on from. Yeah, Trinity Benson is practice squad at best. I have a feeling we won't play up to expectations this year. Last year, teams were taking us lightly, but this year they will be prepared for us and make us look bad. Okay, Rainbow Girl says, Drummond only seems to impress during camp, not much during the real game. Too many drops for someone trying to make the team. Coda seems more reliable, and I would agree with that as well. Wait a minute, what did I just see? Okay, so this is coming from, shout out to Mr. Poole. Dan Campbell on Jack Campbell. I feel like Jack has gotten better every time. He's another standout from today. He was everywhere. He's gone out there and suited up. Wow. Pride of Detroit says it's too early to tell, but Savion Smith and the Fitu Melifonwu injuries could keep them out of the preseason finale. Wow. Fitu Melifonwu is the first draft pick that won't make this team. If he can't play, he's not going to make this team. Dan Campbell on Gilmore. Campbell said you want to see that kind of resilience from a young player. Was pleased with the undrafted young corner's performance. He stood out too. So I will say this. I feel a lot better on defense than I did last year because there are things that you need to pay attention to. The preseason records, wins and losses don't matter. We know this. We went 4-0 in the preseason in 2008, and you know what happened. We wind up getting Matthew Stafford a year later. So wins and losses don't mean anything in the preseason. But there were concerns last preseason that made us fear certain things during the season. One of those things was getting gashed on, like we knew our defense didn't, the second team defense was playing out there. It really, the most bad I saw was the offensive line play. I'll give Nate Sudfeld a little bit, just 5% credit to the offensive line. I just don't like Nate Sudfeld as a football player. He does not belong on this team. Outside of, because the interception that he threw today, last week it was, didn't you see Nate Sudfeld get hit on the okay, last year he had all the time in the world, threw it the same looking pass to Jameson Williams last week, and just threw it to anybody, right? So, but there are things in the preseason that should grab your attention. And one of the things that my biggest concern is not the defense. I felt like that this time last year. That's why I was so upset when we drafted Jameson Williams over defense. I don't feel like that this year. I feel like we got some, it's going to be plays made on every team. But the offensive line depth is a problem. The wide receiver room, look at how thin it is. You might, we don't need, all in the comment section, all I've been getting is we don't need, our wide receivers are fine. That is a false statement. That's false. When we get past, we got St. Brown, Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, Khalif Raymond, St. Brown, Reynolds, and who's the last one? Escaping me for some, Marvin Jones, right? We get past those. Who do we have? Chase Cota, peg him in there. Dylan Drummond, Antoine Green, we get past there. Who do we have? Trinity Benson, that's where we at. So I disagree with that wholeheartedly. We need some wide receiver depth for sure. Corey Davis from the Jets. Wait a minute. Isn't he, is he available? I would like Holmes to call around for moving J-Mo for Mike Evans or Pittman, Indy Jr. Okay, so we really doing that today? Like the kid didn't even play. Are we really trying to move on from Jameson Williams? That's no, hey, Nick, Tim Boyle all day. Tim Boyle. Give me Tim Boyle. And they both are terrible. Give me Tim Boyle. My key sweat voice, nobody. A lot of drops. We need that. O-line and wide receiver. No, man. I made a video and I had to do it in the comment section. Like, why do you keep bringing up big name wide receivers? You wanted to, I'm saying, did you listen to the press conference? You can tell the people that are tapped in and not tapped in. The dude, Dan Campbell, literally said, we need some, we're looking at a wide receiver. And then we go out and sign the dude that I didn't even see out there today. He didn't even play. He's a cam body anyway. Sammy Watkins, no. Sammy Watkins is not, what's up, New Age? Is not available yet. You think he will be? Nate or Dante Culpepper? I take old Dante, and he was terrible. Listen, there's no quarterback that I would take Nate Sudfeld over. Not a one. Not a one. Please cut Kabinda. There we go. Dude can't make a catch to save his life. And while you're at it, cut Will Harris. Yeah, Kabinda didn't look out there. He didn't look good out there today. I don't see the point of him being on his team. I don't think, but does anybody feel same old Lions? Is it anybody out there? We just got a comment about the same old Lions. Does anybody feel that? I don't feel that. This game does not make me feel that at all. Joey Harrington. I'll take Joey on Twinkle Toes. I take him all day. Vitai's not good at pass pro. Kabinda and Trinity for sure. John Kitna. Yeah. John Kitna was a G. He used to get hit all the time. Yeah. We was winning some games with John. Charlie Batch. Give me anybody over Nate Sudfeld. He does not belong on this team. He needs to go to the USFL. That's where he needs to be. You can feel the difference in this team, says Patrick, just by looking at the sideline and seeing how the players are interacting with each other and the coaches. This is a different team. That is facts. That is 100% facts. And that's also what Jamal Agnew said as well. He said, they asked him, how did it feel? Could he see something being different? And he said, yeah, it's the whole vibe is different. If you said SOL after preseason, you just love to be negative. You know what, Honda fan, that's what I think. That's what I think Lions fans, I think that's our biggest problem. If you think about it, we are the worst to each other. Our battle should be fought with Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, Kansas City Chiefs. But we fight with each other because I think some of us want to stay negative. That's what I think. Reynolds is big enough and could play situation fullback. Yeah, and can catch too. We talking about backups and third stringers. At least we're not talking about the starters being that bad. That's true. Apex says, honestly, the defense didn't do that bad until the third and UDFAs were out there. That's when it got a little out of hand. What does the finalist say about the game? Everything I said segment at the beginning is that it's and see that's what I think that people they kind of underestimate about me is that, like, when I mentioned James Houston, he made some plays, but he also missed a lot of tackles today. He missed a ton. Everybody saw the James Houston sacks. He had 8 sacks last year. We got to keep him on the team. Yeah, he's probably going to be on the team, but there's a reason he was taken in the 6th round. And I think Malcolm Rodriguez had a much better day than he did. And I know y'all love y'all some James Houston, but he had a much better day. To be fair, this was our second string backup and team don't panic. Chris Brown, what's up? I'm not panicking. Was working, missed 90% of the game. Well, hey, Hatters, you ain't missed nothing. You just missed a bunch of horrible play by Nate Sudfeld in the offensive line. This was not a game worth watching. The preseason was being watched because we're trying to critique the team. That's why. If you care about football, you're not going to watch the preseason. Like, if you care about wins and losses, if you care about who makes the team, then you'll watch. So only diehard fans watch football, watch preseason. Nate Sudfeld, yeah. Yep, his 4th pass was a interception. Same highly thrown ball. This time there was no excuse. He just overthrew it. And Goff might have been on the sideline, might have said a bad word or two, might have been like, what is this? I don't know. I do think we need to temper expectations this year, shoot for the division, and be happy. Okay, Honda, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it's early to talk about that, though. You got injuries that could happen. You have trades that could be made. I mean, maybe Tracy Walker is in there. I'm convinced now that Charles Harris will be on this team because, again, for the 2nd straight game, he did not suit up. So Charles Harris will be part of this team. I thought maybe he could be traded. Ben Foster in the building says, Chase Cota had another good game. I would take him over Drummond at this point. Right now, Ben, I agree with you. He has the edge over those two. And they both, in my opinion, have an edge over Antoine Green. That's just my opinion. It would go Cota, which is crazy because I said this during the stream. You didn't hear anything about Chase Cota during practice. I went to practice against the Giants, and you didn't see him. You didn't hear it. Nothing. Nothing from the beat writers was coming out about Chase Cota. I mean, when I say nothing was coming out. And all of a sudden, the first preseason game, he shows up. You know who wasn't out there today? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't see him. Maurice Alexander. I did not see him. Then somebody said in the stream he was hurt. I didn't get that info. I don't think any RBs created separation, but then the O-line sucked. So hard to say. I'm going to go with the latter, Flying. It's hard to run when soon as you get the ball, you see what happened with Teddy Bridgewater. The backfield, these defensive players were in the backfield every play, every single play. They made Dan Skipper They made Dan Skipper look all pro. Okay, Khalil says Coda, Drummond, and Green. It depends on what your expectations are. We couldn't get anything going on offense because we had a quarterback that's been here for 2 weeks and a backup quarterback that hasn't played more than 50 snaps. Okay, and to me, Teddy Bridgewater looked just fine. I mean, yeah, there were some communication issues, some timing issues. Like you said, he's been here a week, but he looked okay. He looked okay. He didn't have time to throw. He did not have time to throw. Here's a good question. Who gets right now? You got to make a decision. I hate to tell y'all, I got some bad news. Mohamed Ibrahim will not make this team. He was not out there today. He's hurt. He probably won't play in the preseason. Practice squad, perhaps. Who is running back number 3? Who is running back number 4? I said last week that there was no way Benny Snell makes this team. We did not see any Ozigbo out there today, as far as I know. I don't know. Who's running back 3 and who's running back 4? It did look weird, Nick. We have not seen Green enough. Houston had a sack. Let's cut him. Sean, what? Don't start, bro. Don't start. Don't start unless you was in my comment section. If you, because I got the smoke for you today, bro. So go ahead, because I'll focus all on you, bro. I just want to make sure before I unleash the dragon on you, bro. Reynolds 3, Jefferson 4. Does T.Y. Hilton, wide receiver, an option? T.Y. Hilton, perhaps, but he's over 30. I would love to see Jefferson because I think he's his physical abilities, but I think his vision is bad. Okay? Teddy, judging Teddy off. Well, nobody's judging Teddy, Grit, except I'm not judging Teddy. We've seen what Teddy can do. So whether he's with this team, the Miami Dolphins, the Denver Broncos, whatever other 7 teams he's been on, Teddy Bridgewater can win you games. That's all we need. Houston had a sack, but he also got pancaked 6 times. Yeah, I'm just trying to wait on him. I hope he didn't run and hide and he's still in here. So you can comment, bro. I'll give you about 10 seconds and I'll move on. But I want to, because James Houston missed a lot of tackles today. What I said was that he was going to have a hard time making this team. And I wasn't impressed by him today. He does not have the size to push and all. Did you see? So he's pushing the offensive lineman, right? He's backing him up into the quarterback. Soon as he got there, the offensive lineman had him by one hand. Said, where do you think you going? Where do you think you going? Plenty of bashing Teddy in the chat. Not talking about, yeah, Grit. I knew you weren't talking about me. Watched Houston a couple times, just blatantly gave up on the edge. He looked like he wasn't there mentally. It was it just so I'm watching the game and they would show like the dude, he just looked like now he kept playing to the whistle most plays, but after the play was over, he just looked like he was there. It was weird. Like something was on his mind or something. Okay. No, I'm not exaggerating. It was one of the right tackles. He came, James had him, was pushing him back toward the quarterback. Looks like James' bull rush was working. And by the time he got there, before he got to the quarterback, the lineman literally had him like, he was like this with one arm. You're not going anywhere. Pyro says Houston looks burnt out. Houston looked like he was lost in pass coverage. That's because he is. He is lost in pass coverage. Did we win, Greer, brother? Sorry, I had to. No, we got destroyed, bro. But it's preseason. I saw that too. I saw Houston make a play and show zero excitement. Yeah, he looked. Now, here's what I was saying. And it wasn't really a diss to James Houston. But you got to remember, not everybody is Malcolm Rodriguez. Remember last year? Like, there's a reason James Houston. Okay. There's a reason James Houston was taken in the 6th round. There's a reason Malcolm Rodriguez was taken in the 6th round. There's a reason Malcolm kind of got pushed back today or before today. He showed up today. Malcolm Rodriguez is who we know he is, right? He got to show that last year. What I was saying about James Houston is there's a reason he was taken in the 6th round. There's a reason he didn't make the team. And there's also a reason he got 8 sacks. Let's not make like that was all James Houston. When you got Hutch out there, when you got Kaminsky out there, when you have guys, your starting lineup out there, but also he made some plays. I'm not going to take that away from him. the Buffalo Bills game. Was like, where did this kid come from? I believe that Detroit Lions fans have a veil on for James Houston because he came out and got to Josh Allen 2 times. And the dude was on the practice squad the week before that. I think that is the veil that Detroit Lions fans wear for James Houston. Listen, I'm not saying he's garbage. I'm just saying that for me, it would have been his spot on the team was not guaranteed. That's all I was saying. Looks like Will Anderson is, man. That would have been, to have him would have been fantastic. Houston had a few tackles, but he did look a little lost. Forget where I heard it, but Houston may be upset with this role changing from exclusive pass rusher to full-on Sam linebacker. He isn't comfortable playing backwards and prefers to be the pass rusher. Well, there you go. Any player that makes even the 90-man roster in the NFL is infinity better at football than me. That's facts. That's facts. I would be playing in the no FL. That would be the no football league because I wouldn't be a bad receiver. I think I got hands. So I might be a receiver, maybe like a Khalif. Me and Khalif probably the same height. Be a little, Danny Amendola. I could do that. Take a good hit, be out. I wouldn't mind trading him for a backup offensive tackle. Yeah, he's not getting traded. Houston is a good pass rusher, but that's about all he got. That's all he's ever had. That's all James Houston has ever had. But anyway, it was just like, oh my God, he got a sack. He got another sack. He's the man. Where's this kid been at? And then he gets a couple more. But he also had some bona fide studs out there with him. Like, let's not act like he was doing it all by himself. Will Anderson. Let me see this play. Ooh, man, that would have been nice. Listen, I love Jahmyr Gibbs, but that's the dude I wanted. That is the dude I wanted. This is just his second year. Give him a little time to acclimate to Sam. Well, it's not my decision. Malcolm is consistent effort and play, but lower ceiling. Houston is excellent situational pass rusher and has developing to his game. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. Who you taking? Now I'm putting the ball in your court. Who are you taking? Are you taking James Houston or Malcolm Rodriguez? Could we get Clifford Franklin out there at a little Stickum? Oh, I see. That's from the replacements, right? You almost had me. Okay, so Nick says Rodriguez. Mark says James. Pyro cheated. Rodrigo all day. Julian didn't show up. I think he's gone. See, you know what? Listen, this is why I want y'all to put multiple games together. One thing you have to be to make this team, you got to be consistent. If you can play special teams, it's even better. No, somebody tell me, is Maurice Alexander hurt? Because we didn't see him today. Charles Harris will probably be on this team. Like, I thought he might be getting traded, maybe, but he's probably going to be on this team. We didn't see Muhammad. He's hurt. He's not going to make the team. Right now, he's not going to make the team. I have a feeling that it's going to be the same tandem it was last year at 3 and 4. I think it's going to be Reynolds and Jefferson. I think somebody said that earlier. I think that is the tandem. He's injured. Okay, how did he get injured? Houston, sacks and tackles for loss, game changes. Okay. I am taking Rodriguez. Benny got 3. Something like an ankle at practice. Oh, boy. That's how you wind up on the practice squad. Okay, Braylon says Reynolds and Snell. I think Snell is kind of a one-tricker as well. You got to be able to do more. Can he return? See, Jamar can return punts. Can Snell return punts? Would they put Snell back there to return punts? He can tackle on a punt return, but can he return punts? Perry, I think everybody is. Romeo and Julian to be cut. That is a great question. What do you guys think in the comment section? And when you watch this on playback, put in the comment section, one or the other. Which one do you think gets cut? That is a great question. Great question. I'm going to say Julian gets cut. I hope we keep both requirers. Okay. Can Snell lead block and we get rid of Kumbenda? Okay, who wants... yeah, you know what, Dirty? Yeah, exactly. It's going to be like that. A lot of dump-offs. Ben Johnson ain't trying to show his hand. We play the Chiefs, and we know what they do. Circle around in the huddle. I forgot the name of that play, but they talked about it on quarterback. We ain't trying to show them nothing. We trying to beat them. Thank God we're seeing these players fall now and not when it counts. Julian will most likely get hurt again. Nick, bro, you ain't... Dang. Wow. It's funny because it's a real possibility. Trade both O brothers for O linemen. Okay, so how concerned are y'all about the O-line? Because I think that was the glaring weakness today is backup. Like, if anybody gets hurt on our offensive line, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. I can see it makes you really appreciate Sewell, Decker, Glasgow, Ragnow, all them guys. Hate to say it, but got to be realistic. Yeah, I'm pretty concerned. Highly concerned. Our offensive line depth is terrible. Julian got a sack and was taken back because of a penalty. He did. But here's what, okay, Lions fans, we got to stop focusing on one play. We got to focus on the whole, because that's what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are looking at, right? So who showed out last week? Maurice Alexander. Great story. Injured in practice. Couldn't play today, right? Trinity Benson will not make this team. He might not even make the practice squad. You got to look at the big picture. So Julian played very well last week. He got a sack today that was negated. Yes. All of those things are true. But we have to look at the total. And what we know after 2 weeks is that offensive line is absolutely terrible. Houston is a specialist. He pursues on runs and doesn't keep the run inside. Yes, Sean, that is true. See, I thought you was trying to, I thought we was going to go back and forth for a minute, man, because I had to defend my stance on James Houston. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying, like, I saw a lot of, you're right, he over pursues. He will then chase you down or give his effort on that. Do we need a new medical staff? Because even last year, wait, what did that say? Even last year, at the end, we had less and less of pulls and strains that killed us. I don't know. I think we just got a, did Romeo play? I don't know. He was suited. He was suited up, but I was too busy spazzing at Nate Suffield. I don't know. Okay, so does Chase Cota make this team? And if so, what receiver is he as of this preseason? Because this stuff can change. Cota could disappear, and then Dylan could show up, or Antoine Green. I don't think Green can, unless Green has 100 yards or something. I feel like he can't. There's nothing he can do to make the team, because I'm gonna tell you, practice is practice is like we trying to get ready for the game. The reps in the game are what matter. That's what matter. When you get out there, and because just think about it, the roster is currently sitting at 90, right? 22 of those guys, starters on offense, starters on defense. So let's say 30 guys never see the field, or 37. And so you got 53 guys that you're going in and out. Don't forget, 37 guys will be cut. 37. That's a lot. Romeo was in a bit. He was just quiet. Okay. Cota fills the void for J-Mo. Cota practice squad. Oh, okay, Nick. All right. So in the comment section, if you haven't already answered this question, or if you want to answer it again, tell me who are our wide receivers from first to last. We're going to carry 6, I believe. Who are they? Yes, he will make the team. He's making it very hard for the Lions to cut him. Yes, and the Lions are going to have some tough decisions. Did Branch play? He did not. That's why I think he's going to be a starter. Tracy Walker played, but Brian Branch did not. Don't forget, Brian Branch played last week. And if they play the starters on offense and or defense, and we see Brian Branch, he is starting over Tracy Walker. Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, Cam Sutton. We also didn't see Jerry Jacobs either. Or did we? I don't think I saw him. 5 wide receivers now. Let's see what he does with more time to get open and JG throwing him the ball. Okay, so St. Brown, Raymond, Reynolds, Jones, Drummond, Coda, says Mark. Nick says St. Brown, Reynolds, Jones, J-Mo, and Green. Nick, what has Antoine Green done for you, bro? Did he slip you some money under the table? Okay, Mr. Poole says he was not suited. Lord jeez, that means he's gonna be back. Oh God. Hey, we listen. Hey, throw me Gilmore at this point. Put Gilmore out there. Man. Okay. Gabe says St. Williams, Reynolds. Okay, you can't count Reynolds because he's out. So to clear that up, starting in week 1, if you had to pick right now, Brown, Jacobs, Brown, Jones Jr., Raymond, Reynolds, Gibbs, Coda. Okay, so Pyro just threw out receiver number 6 and put him in there. Ibuprofen says Mommer, Jones, and the rest with the hot dog delivery guy stepping in. Y'all seem confused to me. Y'all seem confused. Raymond, Brown, Raymond, Jones, Brown, Raymond, Reynolds, Jones, Coda. You missing one, Ben. You need one. You need one more. Why didn't we re-sign Dan Skipper? I don't think they wanted to. No, Josh Reynolds is not out. He just didn't. He's not playing because he's a starter. The roster for this game was a fight for third string spots for the most part. St. Brown, Raymond, Josh Reynolds, Jones Jr., Coda. Last one may not be on the roster. There you go. Okay, I can deal with that. Did Green play today? I want to say yes. Green, Coda. Y'all, okay, let me ask you a question. If you say that Antoine Green is going to be on this team, tell me why. Tell me why. Why is Antoine Green right now going to be on this team? Just please, somebody in the comment section, and the phone lines will be open during the season for the postgame show, because I want to hear, where did this Antoine Green phenomenon stuff come from? You haven't heard much in camp. All you've heard is about Dylan Drummond. Then we get to the games and Chase Coda's balling out. Antoine Green is almost nowhere to be found. Where's the Green love coming from? What is the Lions' obsession with Benson, Rainbow Girl? I think Brad, once the Benson arc is over, Brad has to admit defeat. That's what I think. The Trinity Benson trade was bad. The Denzel Mims trade was also bad. Somebody believes that if the Lions get Denzel Mims back, they don't owe the draft pick. I don't know how true that is. I have no idea if that's some type of draft loophole or something, but somebody said that they could be trying to do that. How you say your name, man? So how do you say that? But appreciate you, bro. With the dono. Says, tell me why. Absolutely, man. Green has caught literally every pass thrown his way. Has he? Yo, are we watching the same game? Antoine Green? Okay, and okay. If he has, how many targets has he had? How many targets have Antoine Green had? We need to go get Galladay. Green had a nice awareness play today, getting up and running after not being contacted. Now, he actually was contacted. My man's foot hit his butt, but it's preseason. They didn't care. When they showed it back on replay, the dude's foot hit him in the behind. So they just let that go. He got like 4 catches. Okay. Hey, and so Nick, is that a roast? Were you trying to roast him, or are you saying like, man, he got 4 catches? I want to know. I've not seen Green drop a ball. Drummond has dropped 3 balls today. Okay. I haven't seen Green at all. Like a couple. Wait a minute. No, there's no way. Because Green is number 80. There's no way, bro. Somewhere he has not caught. Has he caught all 4 balls? Ooh, he's caught all of those. Drummond broke my heart today. Yeah, it was sad to see him. Coda is better than J-Mo. I think that's a little too far. But his story is nice. Braylon with the donut says, our entire offense, St. Brown, Gibbs, Laporta, Reynolds, Raymond, Jones, Coda, Drummond. Didn't we all agree that it's hard to evaluate receivers when the QB is getting molested every snap. Okay, Patrick, yes. Okay, but that's on Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell chose to do that. Dan Campbell chose. So that, yeah, it's hard for us to evaluate, but Dan Campbell chose that. He gets to see him in practice every day. And what I will say is you heard nothing about Coda, then he showed up. Drummond was the star. He was taking over, impressing. Don't forget, Antoine Green is the guy that had to sit out for heat exhaustion. I'm just saying, bro, I haven't seen enough from Antoine Green to make this team. Practice squad, yes. But, oh, Lord, let me be careful because I did the same thing with James Houston, and y'all was on me for that. I agree. Some of the subpar receiver play was on subfield. Skipper wasn't trash. What you talking about? Missed today's performance. You pay for sacks, not tackles. I think Snell needs a chance to be RB3. But we can all agree that good people will be cut. Somebody going to be sad. Somebody going to be sad when fan favorite get cut. I mean, that's going to be true. You guys have horrible memory. Are we on the same page about Green? I'm not. I haven't seen enough. I think right now Green goes to the practice squad. I don't know. I mean, here's what I think. This is what I think. Just a dude sitting in his basement talking Detroit Lions and hoping you watch an ad or two. I think that Chase Cota is number 4. I'm sorry, number 5. Chase Cota is number 5. Number 4, why do I keep going back to 4? Number 6 is to be determined, possibly not on the roster. Right now, I think Antoine Green is on the practice squad. And number 6 is either between Drummond or somebody that's not on the roster. Now, that could change after this week. That could change. Green have 100 yards. Drummond disappears. Drummond's story is super nice. So it would be nice to see him. Could you imagine we have 2 undrafted free agents as starting receivers in the NFL? That would be something. Don't let them ball out. That's quite the story. Love the passion today. Oh, I appreciate that, man. I just have been. Here's the deal. The old grit with the question says the real question is, who does golf want to keep? You think they value his opinion like that? That's a good question, man. Rob comes in. Skipper was roster bubble the entire time he was here. That is true, but he better than what we got out there now. Well, Jermaine, listen, they telling me he caught all 4 passes thrown his way. And I said, ooh, hold on. I got the perfect.
Ooh.
I'm not impressed, but again, I'm just some dude, watching the Detroit Lions sitting in his basement. That's all I am. What was that? Notting Hill? Just a girl trying to love a boy. I'm a dude, just a dude sitting in his basement, hoping you watch an ad. Drummond has been great in practice, but hasn't showed up in the preseason. Thoughts on Broderick Martin? It's a big dude, and he got potential. He does have potential. I don't think it was a bad draft pick. He got potential. Did Levi play? Yes, he did. He did play. That's the storyline. Solo says it's bad because we can't really see who is who at the wide receiver position with Suffield throwing them the ball. We just have to trust that Dan and Brad are going to make the right decisions. Plus, Green was drafted, so that does make a difference. Now, Rob, I disagree with that. But I can see your point because, no, I disagree with that. Let me tell you why. James Houston was drafted, was initially put on the practice squad. I think Antoine Green will make the practice squad. I don't think he's going to make the initial 53. Malcolm Rodriguez, him and James Houston were drafted in the same round and James Houston did not make the initial 53, but Malcolm did. So I think that Antoine Green, along with Chase Lucas, Chase Lucas made the 53. Man, our secondary was horrible Chase Lucas made the 53. And I think Jamar was on the practice squad. Flying Hawaiian says 204 people watching, only 52 likes. Yeah, because I don't beg for you to hit the like button. Oh, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button because, hey, boo-boo, hit the like button. Why is Suckfield out there give those reps to Teddy? Teddy's reps came from Martinez. Do y'all watch the Lions? Like, tell me I'm not the only one that watches everything they do. Maybe that's why I talk about them on YouTube, because I watch everything they do. Watch what they do. Or you can just watch me. That's cool too, because I'll tell you that stuff too. Yeah, what's up with that? Why we wasting time with Suffield? Is Martinez that bad at practice? No, Dan said that Teddy's reps were going to come from Adrian. Adrian is probably going to the Nick, I see you, bro. Martinez over Sudfeld easily. Okay, it's okay, Grid. I asked for you. Appreciate that, Flying. Because you know my wife will be on my back, man. My wife will be on my back if y'all don't like it. Just like the stream, okay? She's literally standing on. No, I'm not gonna do that to her. I like Martin. Who's Martin? Man, Sudfeld and Teddy both look A. Listen, Teddy gets a pass from me because Teddy been on this team for 7 days. I'm going to give Teddy a pass. Nate Sudfeld, though, is
trash.
I take Tim Boyle over Sudfeld. Thank you. Finally. Somebody said it with me. Sudfeld can't hit water. Somebody said this during the stream. That Sudfeld is so streaky. Like, he'll throw a nice ball. Like, dang, who threw that ball? Did Sudfeld throw that pass? And it's like, and then, whoop, here's a pick. Here's another one. Sue as a backup? Bro, Sue will never. Y'all need to give it a, and Ndamukong Suh ain't trying to come back to this team. Would y'all stop with that? Haven't he shown you enough? Ndamukong Suh does not want to be on this team. Teddy had 1 week. Sudfeld is the second year. Enough said. Fox as a backup, problem solved. Everything's a checks down pass for Suds. I agree. I like Teddy, but man, 5'4", 11, 38 yards, several bad throws. Let's be real. Sudfeld I better have than Teddy. Dirty, you know what, bro? You must be thinking of Stafford, man. Me and you had that Stafford conversation a couple days ago. I'm giving Teddy the pass. He gets a hall pass. From the very first snap, he was running for his life. And he's only been with the team for 7 whole days. I've been watching them since the 80s. Give Martinez over both. Nobody would look good the way that O-line was playing. Not worried about Teddy. Has been around. Yeah, he's like Lisa Stansfield, bro. Been around the world. By far, best line. Hey, Nate, appreciate you, bro. I appreciate that. Listen, we're going to wrap the show up very soon, but I'm about the fan. I'm not about the. Do I want to make money doing this? Yeah, absolutely. I want to do YouTube full time talking Detroit Lions. It's possible. That's not my driving force, though. My driving force is to be a fan. That's why I'm going to Kansas City. I'm going to Kansas City to be with the fan. I'm going to try to stream some of the game from Kansas City because I can do that. I'm going to try to Zoom 300 of you the game, right? I'm about the people, bro. That's why this QR code that you see, okay, so it's over here, is for a live stream watch party that I'm having September 17th for the fan. So that's what I'm about. So I appreciate that, man. I really do. I don't have to have the best football knowledge and stuff like that because the average fan doesn't have that. My thing on YouTube has always been to embrace my inner fan, man. This microphone is cool, this camera's cool, but this is just perks to being a fan, you know? So I'm glad that y'all appreciate me the way that you do because that means a lot. Sudfeld played pretty okay last week. He had one awful throw, the missed TD. Teddy got hit before he can do the handoff. You got to take a video of how loud. Hey, Nick, I'm going to try to stream from there because I did it for the Rams game. And you can stream with no problem. The only issue is I have to hold my phone as steady as possible and then the battery life. So I brought a charger in there. I can bring a backup, like a portable charger. So I'm going to bring that too. I do like the mic quality. Which brand is it? Oh, yeah. No, what I'm saying is, yeah, I paid a lot of money for this mic to up my quality. That's why, so this is the Shure SM7B. It should be visible, right? Does anybody know, if anybody knows where I can get a custom-made kind of thing to go, I don't know what you call them. I've tried to find them on Fiverr and Google, and I don't know. I can't find them. The thing that go on the back, like the pros have. I want one. Let me know. I'm going to the Chargers game. One difference between Derek and the people who remain nameless, Derek interacts with the chat members and has true passion. I appreciate that. You are the reason I'm here. Without y'all, and this sounds corny and cheesy, but it's true. You make me, right? You complete me. It's a true statement. Without you guys watching and supporting and commenting, I can't forsake you guys, because without you, I'm not able to sit here. That's just the truth. I'm just glad that I am appreciated and that people see past, whatever they need to see past, and that we have a good time. But I've always been about the fan. That's why we have the phone lines. The phone lines are starting up. No, not it's a thing that goes down here. Down here. It's like a little box, and you'll see it. It's like it goes on the back. Yeah, the thing that goes here. It goes here. You'll see them, and all like the fancy people, Logan Paul, they go on the back of it. By the way, this is a signed helmet that a person sent me. That's DeAndre Swift signature. And this person that sent it to me is no longer with us. He passed away in January. He's a Miami Dolphins fan, and he sent this to me. Dirty in the building says, Goff QB1, Stafford QB2, make it happen. Cut both Dudfield and Bridgewater and keep Martinez and Hooker. And cut the second string O-line as well. Okay, you know what? We'll end the show with this because we almost out of time. I was having a conversation with Money the other day, the guy that just super chatted, and I have a serious question for y'all. I'll give you my answer while you think of your. Kelly Stafford claims that Matt Stafford will come back and retire as a Lion. I know he has a contract extension. So this is a two-part question, and this comes from Dirty. If Stafford comes back to Detroit and he's QB number 2, we got to play this game, so let's play the game. How would you feel? Now, here's another question as well. Let's make it even juicier. Something happens to Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford is on the roster. Y'all know how I feel. I'm done with Stafford. Jared Goff is my quarterback. I want to see him win. I appreciate that, humorous. If Stafford were here, Goff wouldn't be QB number 1. Sign Stafford next year for vet minimum and load up on defense. 1-day contract to retire. Do we get Stafford and not Kelly? That might be the best comment of the day. That's the comment. I think you get them and the twins. Let me send you some paper. Says, what you gonna send me, bro? It will make the Stafford fans happy. Goff is my guy. I was done with Stafford 8 years ago, says Ben. Bro, I appreciate you. I live in Virginia and really don't have people to talk and watch Lions football. Today was like watching the game with one of my fellas. That's the whole point, bro. Appreciate that, man. I really do. When I started doing this, I was like, because I used to sit and watch it by myself. I'm sitting there, I'm yelling. My son is like, what are you doing? My wife is like, what are you doing? And so when I got on YouTube, I said, what better to have a watch party and we can watch it together? And then I realized that some people can't even see it. And so they watch the game through me, which is kind of a hefty burden. But like I said, hopefully if everything goes right, I will have a way to bring 300 people the ability to see the game every single Sunday, beginning in week 3. So if I'm at home, then it'll be like the plan will be to put the Zoom link in the comment section 30 minutes before the game. And you have to get in and get your spot. And once you get in, you in. It's not going to be a charge for it. At least I don't plan. No, I'm not. I'm not going to charge. But that's what I want to do, because I realize that there's other Lions fans out there, and it's just and that's why I love road games, because Kansas City going to be crazy, but across the way, somebody in Kansas City is going to be like, go Lions, and it's such a great feeling to see. Hooker will be the future. I love Stafford. I'd be okay if he was the backup. I wouldn't start him over Goff right now. Forgot about Hendon. Stafford. No, it was just a question I was having, and I thought it would be nice to pose with y'all. But anyway, we are at the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, if you do live local, we got the live stream watch party for week 2. Week 1, I will be in Kansas City, section 308. So I'm in the boonies, but it's not a bad seat in the house. I got to get me some earplugs so that I come back with all of my hearing. If you are going to Kansas City, there is a pregame show on Wednesday. At a bar called Char Bar from 6 to 10. We'll be there and then get there to tailgate and let's do our thing. I'm going to have to get one of them. I have a Halo, like a portable battery charger. I'm going to have to bring that with me because I want to all of the experiences. I want to document the whole thing. And then there will be a post-game show. Try B&H photo. Really? Okay, because I've looked all over the internet and I have not been able to find, I don't even know what it's called. Stafford has so much rippling muscles, Drew and Mike. I'm in Windsor. Seriously, consider what? The drive to the, hey, Ben, I would love it, bro. I would love it, man. Tickets are only $15. You got pizza buffet and drink specials included in the 15 is what they tell me. I'll confirm that before we go, though. Stafford on the roster is a terrible idea. Goff throws one interception, and Stafford fans, I don't want him. No, listen, I just say this to y'all. I am loyal. Diehard loyal, man. If Goff got traded, I love Jared Goff, but that would be the end of it. Stafford leaving is the end. I did not cheer for him to win. I wanted him to lose, okay? That's just how I am. The Detroit Lions are my team, and they are who I roll with. Now, I do entertain people on my other channel, and it's nice to watch football games. When you're, Swift, I'm not rooting for Swift. Swift is gone. That's how that is. But that's just me. Everybody's cut a little differently, but that's why we love the game, because it's so emotional. These people can leave and take a part of us with them, right? So that's how it is. Jamal Williams, I love Jamal Williams, but when his Twitter comes up, I don't look at it. I don't watch. I'm not going to watch the Saints games for Jamal Williams. So it is what it is. But anyway, we out of time. I got to go to work, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all. I think we had over 200 in the chat today. We're about to hit 1,000 views. Thank you for the super chats as well. I appreciate it. Again, working on that Zoom meeting to hold 300 people. I will have confirmation on that before week 3, because week 1 I'll be in Kansas City. Week 2 I'll be at Uno, so hope to see you there. So week 3 will be the earliest, but every week, man, that I'm home, that we will try to do that, okay? I just got to run some tests on the internet, all that stuff. Hopefully get that as soon as I can. So with that being said, you guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.